Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Nina's Chelsea Corner. If you're new round here, Chelsea drew 1-1 to Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. We share the spoils, share the points, and after a Martinelli opener, cancelled out by a Pedro Neto equaliser. Yes, that's how the game was left to rest. Very different from the 2-2 draw and very different from the 5-0 defeat last season. So there are certain improvements that we'll talk about. There are also some things that we can definitely improve. But in the grand scheme of things, guys, I'm not disappointed with this result, I have to say. I think it's very easy when expectations change throughout the season, as in I came in not knowing what to expect, how Chelsea would play, how we'd look like under Maresca, and just didn't really know. Whereas Arsenal very clearly came into their season thinking, we've come this close, couple seasons in a row now to winning the league, this must be the one, right? So very different in terms of expectations, and realistically, when we start off the way we have, winning games, scoring goals, looking good under Maresca, it's very easy to change those expectations gradually. So when it does come to playing an Arsenal, we're almost like, well, we got to beat them. Yeah, we absolutely have to beat them. They're not in great form and this and that. But it's very easy to sort of fall into that trap and just expect that, this would have to be a win and we can absolutely do it. Because it's very different to how I went to the Emirates, for example, last season, when I just literally my only thoughts were, please just turn up for this London derby. Just turn up. Just put on a show. Put a fight. We kind of knew we'd lose that game. Let's all be pretty honest with ourselves when we travelled there. But yeah, the fact that going into this game, we felt like we had the confidence and had the absolute ability to beat Arsenal, that tells you exactly how far we've come under Maresca, right? So for me, that's actually a really big positive. Now, we know that we're improving. We know that so many things are coming together for us. We're yet to kind of go on a consistent run of winning and being at our very best, seeing what each player can do and how they fit into the system. And I think what Maresca's done in such a short space of time is pretty decent, guys. Can we all agree? So for me, I think a result, bearing in mind the performance, and we lacked sort of clinical finishing at times, so did Arsenal. I think it was fair in the end. It was a 1-1 draw. So I'm not angry, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And also, guys, apologies about my voice. It's going. But I'm going to do this match review and try and sound as normal as I can. But yeah, let's talk about the game, guys. So as I said, very different expectations to how we approached the games last season, because we've taken some pride of our own winning streak. And I mean, I know obviously we drew to Manchester United, previously lost to Liverpool, so we've had results kind of be up and down a little bit, but there has been a clear indication of where we're going as a team, how we are trying to play, what we're trying to do. The actual game plan is very evident on the pitch. So coming into the game, like I said, with Arsenal kind of dropping points here and there, not being at their ultimate best, obviously it was expected that confidence would be a little bit higher. But watching the game and how we were playing, the opening minutes were very dominant from us. Then I think Arsenal kind of caught up with the pace of the game a little bit. They started also creating a little bit more. But for me, I just really wish we could play a little bit more centrally or through the middle in that game. Because what often happened was we'd receive the ball in sort of like the wider spaces, and we just kind of recycle it like we always used to do last season, where we're trying to pass it back into midfield. It might end up in defence, and it was very hard to play through the middle. Now, a really good link there has been Cole Palmer when he's played in those kind of attacking midfield places. And I just think that the spaces he usually roams around in were occupied by someone like a Malo Gusto, who just did not look as comfortable, and he has not done so. And for me, like I said, and I mentioned against Manchester United, I just wasn't a big fan of how that looked. So what happened with Cole Palmer was so far pushed out to the left that he was literally at the touchline, isolated and completely excluded from the game, which is why he did look pretty much ineffective there on the side. And again, I think that's just that kind of positional, tactical choice there. And I think that Gusto, you know, he tries to make it comfortable on this much more comfortable foot. Okay, fair enough. But these are the kind of situations sometimes where Cole Palmer would have the ball in those spaces and he'd be able to shoot. He'd be able to make something of it. And I think what that does is that, again, like I mentioned against Manchester United, left Madueke really isolated there because nobody really to run in behind, to link up with. It's no coincidence that Madueke's best games, particularly this season, have come when Cole Palmer has been just right behind there and feeding him balls. Just on the right-hand side, that's where that partnership works. And so, because of that, Cole Palmer was not able to support Jackson really either. So Jackson had to kind of carry the ball himself, cross it in, and nobody's there because Jackson's the one that's supposed to be in there. But again, I thought that was a real indication that little experiment doesn't quite work. But I'm pretty sure it's accommodating, obviously, for Reece James, as we understand, who's not fully fit, didn't start this game, came on to play for a little bit towards the end. But yeah, but that's one of the reasons and partly why I thought that Palmer was not as effective as he usually is. I thought in the set pieces, he obviously tried to beat the wall a couple times. It didn't quite work out. But yeah, overall, I just think that really changed and switched things on. So when it got to like the second half and we were trying to break Arsenal down through the middle, I thought now is a time when we need to maybe bring on a player like Joao Felix. Because Joao Felix is quite good at getting outside of tight spaces, creating for himself a little bit. And I just thought that a little bit of that kind of what's the word, spontaneous player there that he is, because he will take it upon himself to shoot. He will take it upon himself to try and do some cool tricks and flicks on the pitch. And sometimes the end result is there. And, you know, I thought that obviously we brought on Mudryk, which was great. We brought on Nkunku. Madueke got taken off. And yeah, it's an interesting one with Madueke, guys, and I'd be interested to find out your thoughts in the comments down below, because there's a lot of conversation there about whether Madueke has had a little bit of a drop, and if there's an issue with confidence there, if there's a bit of a discipline issue, because he kind of walked straight off the pitch in a bit of a sulk. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to play, right? Everybody wants game time, but you've got to perform week in, week out, because nobody's space is guaranteed, nobody's place is guaranteed. You've got to work hard to get it. And I just think with Madueke is sometimes when he is beaten and he's not able to find breakthroughs, like against Manchester United when Mazraoui was shutting him down very well, he gets annoyed and he sulks a little bit. And yeah, I'm not quite sure why that's the case, but I just think it's something that he really does need to work on a little bit. Over on the other flank, though, Pedro Neto. Wow, what a player. Guys, I've been telling you, for me, Pedro Neto is a must-start in the Premier League. He is exceptional. And I not only rate his ability on the ball, off the ball too, the ground he covers, the way he gets into spaces, the way that he tracks back is just so energetic from minute 1 to 90. I actually don't know how he does it. He's got a few pairs of lungs. But wow, just so good. And what I've noticed about Neto, guys, is even when sometimes he's a bit isolated on the wing in certain games, he doesn't mind just coming in centrally and just trying something of his own, creating his own chance, trying it. And that's exactly what he did. Great shot, great goal, what a finish, fantastic. And we do have to credit Super Sub Enzo here, because he did really make an impact for that. That pass was played there. It did to kind of unlock Arsenal there in that moment, and it gave us a breakthrough, which led to the equaliser. So fantastic bit of play there. Really enjoyed that goal, guys. Really celebrated it. But Neto deserves it, and he deserves to play. He deserves to start. So once Sancho's fully fit and he's back, and we know sort of who is available, there's going to be a real conversation there of who is our strongest kind of front line. So yeah, really interesting. But let's talk about midfield, guys, because wow, what a performance from Moises Caicedo, captain Moises Caicedo, I must say, because he was, yeah, so vocal, guys. He was edging us so much throughout, and the crowd was responding to him, which is fantastic. It's been so long since we've had players that will engage with the fans like that, because there's been so many new faces in the last few years that it's just hard to build that little familiarity and like chemistry with the players. So I thought it was really nice. Caicedo, yeah, brilliant. Wow, the football does the talking, doesn't it? He's improved so much. The tackles, so clean. Really intelligent play from him. Lavia, I don't think was quite as good as him. Obviously, he was brought off Enzo. Thought it was the right call. And defensively, guys, I think on the most part we did quite well. We shut down quite a lot of threat from Arsenal. I think Marc Cucurella did a fantastic job dealing with Saka there on the left. Didn't let him have a peep, really. And I said to myself, this is such a different Marc Cucurella to the one that we were talking about 2 years ago when we lost to Arsenal 2-0 at home. And just completely different. He's lived up to the price tag. He is absolutely showing why he deserves to be starting as a left back. So yeah, really, really great. And obviously, about conceding the goal, I thought it was a poor way to concede. I think we should have done much better, and it's obviously a little bit of a pattern because we have conceded goals like that before, so it will be an area to address, an area to fix. But yeah, guys, overall, I'm satisfied. I'm happy with the point. I actually think that, you know, we played well. We managed to come back from being a goal behind at home. The atmosphere was there. The players really did show like they were trying and they were caring. We were trying to find that second goal. It didn't quite come, but equally Arsenal themselves could have had a second there, so it's fair at the end of the day. Guys, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with anything I have said. Make sure you like this video if you've enjoyed it, and again, sorry about the way I've spoken, maybe a bit monotone, but I feel like if I go any higher, I feel like my voice is just going to go. So yes, guys, if you're new and you've enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button as well, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.